thinking about bringing mine, and I was like,
We're on the
maybe
clock.
We don't want that on the frame.
Think what? Oh, a little notebook.
Notebook, yeah. I was gonna bring one. But
My diary.
Yeah. Don't let that leak.
It's
Don't
with
let
my
that leak.
thoughts and feelings on it. You know? No, Danny, you should come prepared, bro.
Yeah.
I thought you knew how to do this. Knew how to podcast, bro. Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Julius from Bumbling Cinema, and we are here with a podcast that is now filmed. It's actually, we got like lights and stuff now and everything.
Come on.
I am here with the former goats of my life and everything. It is Mr. Daniel Rumbles.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
You might know him as Poncho from our film last year. We were waiting to get a reaction for Poncho for so long, and that takes us to Mr. Blu-ray Angel.
Come on now. Yeah.
We're here to talk about Spider-Man. It's a very nice, hot Thursday. It's been a week since we watched the film and everything.
Yeah. Yes.
We're here in the I'm going to call it the Cine Dungeon.
The Cinerama Garage.
Yeah. If you're watching this, you're on the black web right now, or the dark web. Yeah. The black web is a Tubi film, I think.
Stuff.
Yeah, that's my own stuff.
Your own private stuff.
You shouldn't be on the black web for your own sakes. It would be bad. Daniel knows it well.
Yeah. I just got out.
Yeah, literally.
That's definitely one of the main themes of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Yeah. Stay off the black web.
Well, actually, not quite. I mean, not to get too spoilery, but unfortunately, we didn't see the black web in this film.
And it's crazy because we were expecting that Venom symbiote. I mean, I felt like they were teasing it. You look at what Zendaya and Tom Holland were wearing. You see those trailers, the black eyes. We didn't know what the context of that was yet.
Right.
But even though we didn't get the symbiote, I was still satisfied with the movie, and we'll get more into that.
Yeah, and, or the man spider, which I'm sure you'll get into and everything.
It was so awesome we didn't get that.
You know what my favorite part of the movie was? When the shit I wanted didn't happen. You know?
That's so cool, dude.
You know? Is WandaVision all over again, bro.
Oh, dude, yeah,
you know?
Don't mention that.
Yeah. We don't talk about that.
Shut up.
We don't talk about that. Shut up, stupid. But yeah, it's been a minute since we've podcasted. The last time we actually did something kind of akin to this was over Zoom. We were talking about X-Men, which is now like 2 years ago because we were talking in anticipation for Deadpool and Wolverine. And that was a really fun session, you know. Felt real nostalgic to talk to you guys about films and everything. And
X-Men are now relevant.
Yeah, hey, we're talking about the X-Men again, as it turns out, you know, in the Marvel universe and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so do you guys want to just establish for the viewer kind of your relationship with Spider-Man and everything, comic books, you know, whatever the feeling is?
Yeah, sure. I'll start off. I mean, the first time I was exposed to Spider-Man was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man films. Yeah. The Raimi trilogy, I think, pretty much raised me on a lot of my morals. You know, after seeing that movie for the first time, I wanted to go out there and get a spider to bite me. I wanted to climb walls. I really felt like Spider-Man. You know, not just from the story, not just from the performances, but the music. I also grew up on the 90s Spider-Man animated series. And, you know, whenever I did have a chance to read those comics, any Spider-Man comic, I mean, they're so inspiring. Yeah. They're amazing, for the lack of a better word.
Well, hold on. Spectacular.
Spectacular.
Ultimate.
Friendly.
Sensational.
Any adjective you can think of, I mean, that's how I would describe Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of the greatest characters, not just one of the best superheroes, one of the greatest fictional heroes of all time. And this movie definitely reminded me of that, and we'll get more into that.
For sure.
Well, I'm a little upset that they never called him the average Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
The average?
Yeah, just the average.
Yeah, the average Spider-Man.
You know what I mean?
That would have been good.
Yeah, that's something. Like, it's just the variant that's just, like, never gets off his ass. Doesn't even wipe his ass. Yeah.
Wow, great imagination there.
That's what I got. From the director of Poncho. Yeah. That's what I would do with Spider-Man. Some of you are lucky.
That's funny.
What about you, Daniel?
For me, I grew up with Spider-Man, like the old cartoons. So there was 2 cartoons I used to watch as a kid, which was like the Spider-Man original cartoon, you know, Spider-Man. Spider-Woman was around that time, and then there was also Spider-Man and Friends, which was cool, which was awesome because it was
Spider-Man and his amazing
friend, dog. And it was
Firestar was my favorite out of this movie.
Firestar.
Sadie Sink is Firestar.
Dude,
it was Firestar and Iceman, right?
And Iceman, yeah.
Stop it, Iceman, too cold.
Dude. It was gangster. It was such a gangster show. And that one was like the next one after the Spider-Man original one, where you'd get like Spider-Man versus Doctor Doom and all these cool, villains.
Spider-Man 1v1ing Doctor Doom.
Yeah. I lost
and we gonna get that again. 100%.
I lost it, and that's how Doom became my favorite villain of all time. And
villain.
So it was hero.
Villain.
I know. I say villain because that's how people know him, but
socialized healthcare gets the
president.
trains to trains to run on time.
Full safety. Let's go.
There ain't no gun violence in Latveria.
No. So it was those, and I also would watch the Spider-Man, the live actions. But there was two of them. There was one that was like a full-length movie, and then there was one that was also a movie. It was called Spider-Man Strikes Back.
The Japanese one?
No. There was also the Japanese one too. That was the third one, and the Japanese one was sick too because he had a Zord. Spider-Man was sick, dude.
They made him like a Power Ranger?
Yeah,
dude.
He was two colors.
And
it was red
sick.
and blue, bro.
It's sick. If you can watch it, definitely watch it. It's fun. It's a blast, dude. I'm telling you. It's a different variant. I think they made a nod to him in the Spider-Verse movies,
I'm pretty sure he's. I mean, it's all canon.
Yeah,
now,
it's all canon.
But
now.
I think
he's in it.
They'll probably they've involved him in some comics and everything when they were doing Spider-Verse. They brought in the Zord, to fight with all the other Spider-Man. I hope for that in the future.
But I would watch the live action movies, and there's there's that scene where he's like in this room and he's looking for someone, and then they like surround him, and he does the web, and it's like a net that that floats on top of him. They go and then and then he like beats him up. Oh man, it was cool. And then he goes down the wall, but they're clearly just like letting him down, and so he's going like this. And, that's all we had back then, and that was sick for us, and so that's where for us it was oh man, it was real for us, and then we got the Tobys. And
when you first saw that first Raimi film and you see the jump in the technology and
nuts, dude.
Right.
And it's more nuts. I'm sure for you guys it was nuts because that's oh wow, in and of itself.
It felt like Spider-Man was real.
Yeah.
When that movie came out,
right.
I really believed somebody was climbing these walls.
Right.
And I think just the impact of that movie.
Right.
With great power comes great responsibility. Those words
1000%.
never left me. It was imprinted in my DNA. And that's how impactful those movies were.
Well, that's why it's odd in No Way Home when they say the line, but it's the comic accurate version of the line, where they add there must also come. You know what I mean?
Right.
It became so colloquial. Colloquial. With great power comes great responsibility. That phrase is just part of the zeitgeist. So when to hear the actual comic version of it said out loud, I'm sure people were I was like. Wait, hold on. You don't do that shit. Don't do that shit.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
But that film, that original one, at least for me, being a young kid, and maybe for you, Angel, the inspiring part is definitely there. But it's also I think for younger people, that those films in general work as intros to horror, because they are Sam Raimi films and everything. But they're They're freaky films, Willem Dafoe in the original,
There's some intense scenes in there.
The Goblin transformation.
Yeah, dude.
Incredible.
Dafoe killed it.
Yeah.
I mean, he killed it really.
Absolutely.
That whole playing the guy losing his mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaky.
That was wild. It was freaky.
It's because change can be scary, right? And I think Sam Raimi really tapped into that psyche with not just Spider-Man but Goblin as well.
Yeah.
So when you see these two different people experiencing this change, you can either go one way where you become a good guy or another way where you become a super villain. Yeah. And seeing them on a different trajectory and then meeting at the end and having that beatdown at the end, the movie's amazing.
But that's the thing about Spider-Man. Just in every medium, it's the villains, right? I mean, he's up there with Batman. And
pretty much it.
That's it.
I mean, Superman is
Superman has some too, but in terms of catalog, it's Batman and Spider-Man that have the greatest catalog of villains.
The Flash would be like a
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Flash would be.
I would say Spider-Man. Spider-Man's probably top though.
Spider-Man.
You know,
I think it's in terms of Rogues Gallery. It's probably
Spider-Man, Batman.
It's a tug of war between Spider-Man and Batman. Then Superman would come. Then actually X-Men would probably be before Flash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
You know?
Of course.
But Batman has that edge because of Joker. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
That's how crazy Joker is. you
Yeah.
know? That dynamic, I think there might not be a better dynamic. You know, it
Knowing all of his
Yeah.
history, it's like they can't exist without one or the other.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why they're both nuts. Batman.
That's
That's why
crazy.
Batman should also be in prison.
Well, that's why I'm glad
To
they're not
stop
in terms of like Spider-Man. I heard something recently that with Tom Holland, they're not going to try to do, or like the focus right now isn't bringing back like Norman Osborn, you know, the sacred timeline versions of them. And for me, I know a lot of Spider-Man fans probably don't like that, but for me, I'm okay with that because it's like I saw Tom deal with Dafoe, and you're not like Dafoe is that perfect kind of version of that character. I'm sure you could do it well, but it's like seeing, if you saw like Christian Bale's Batman go up against Mark Hamill's Joker, right? Like, it's a pretty like how are you gonna get any better than that?
I wouldn't want to see that, but I that was one of the things where it's kind of like bittersweet. And again, I'm okay with it. I'm sure we'll get into it, but the villains, like that was kind of lacking in this one, and but at the same time that it was lacking the classic rogues gallery that we get, right? Not that I wanted the Green Goblin. They showed us a bunch of other villains, and we got literally like 2-second clips of each one. It would have been cool to get like some sort of action fight, like get the clip and then go into like even just a 10-second fight, like where we see something, but just that second like that, and then the actual villains were heroes, were the Hulk and Jean Grey. And I say that,
spoilers.
Oh shoot! Sorry, guys.
Well,
I
mean,
it's Are we not doing spoilers? Shoot.
No, we are.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about where this film is coming from and everything in terms of like
sorry.
what like this movie. It's been a while since we've had a Spider-Man film, especially Tom's version of Spider-Man. Like, and this film has gone through all sorts of like kind of development hell leading up to because there were different visions. Is Sony gonna put in all the multiverse crap? Like, fans want a more grounded version of this character,
right?
Post Iron Man death and everything. What were you guys looking for in terms of Spider-Man 4 after No Way Home?
It could have gone either way. We could have got the black suit like we were talking about.
Yeah.
The Man Spider was a good way to go. That could have been something. Or we could have explored some other villains that are still classic villains, but we could have gone with the Jackal, and we've
Jackal
talked about
cool.
that. That would have been really cool, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. And
we wanted Scorpion for a long time. We
Yeah.
got Scorpion. Daniel mentioned that they were kind of like dismissive with the rogues, which is kind of an interesting and a risk for them to take because Spider-Man has, like you said, like the greatest rogues gallery.
Yeah.
And for this movie to not have a traditional Spider-Man villain as the main antagonist was a risk, but it worked in their favor, honestly, with how they used Jean Grey and Metzger. But for me, I wanted a grounded story, but while also feeling fantastical at the same time. And I felt like this
delivered.
It definitely delivered as a Spider-Man 4.
Yeah.
For me, they did for Tom Holland what they did for Tobey in that first movie, which was give him relentless grit. And that's what I wanted to see for a very long time. That fight with him in the hand at the very end,
Oh man,
incredible.
It was
Unbelievable.
Incredible.
It was sick.
That
That's
moment
crazy.
where
So sick.
Jean is asking him, "Are you Peter Parker or are you Spider-Man?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, bull! What?" I was
go.
telling Julius at the end of the screen, I was like, they gave him a Batman moment.
Yeah, they gave him a Batman moment.
Him fighting with the duality
Dude.
of the alter ego.
Yeah.
And what I actually think this movie did the most impressive was redefining the superhero mythology, right? Because usually you have the Clark Kent and Superman, Bruce Wayne and Batman. But this one merged both. And it shows you that you can tap into both. With great power comes great relentless responsibility and accountability, even when you make mistakes.
because with great power becomes cinema.
Exactly. It's absolute cinema.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I was saying how I felt like, you know, they were lacking in the villains, in the classic villains. But at the same time, again, I say that, but it still worked for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm always complaining that these movies don't embrace that they're a comic book movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like in a comic book movie, random heroes and characters talk to each other and intermingle.
Yes.
And that's something that
Especially
we had in
with
the first,
Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah, and we had
Yeah.
that in the first saga. In the first Infinity Saga, we had that all over the place. And like now in this one, in this saga, we kind of don't. And we need to get on with it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so like where else were we going to introduce the mutants if not now? And so, you know, although again...
and they've been doing that a
and they've
little
been
bit,
doing it, right?
sprinkling
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like Miss Marvel and stuff like that, but nothing is like...
Yeah, Namor,
Or,
you know.
and Namor, but nothing is animated as Jean Grey
No.
being your...
They did it in a very
antagonist.
smart way
They
here
did, yeah,
as well,
they
because
did.
they're not just throwing in Jean Grey and Hulk and Punisher because they're cameos.
Yeah.
They actually integrate them in a way where they serve the story and push the themes.
Yeah.
Which is, throughout the movie, Jean is saying, like, there's a monster in all of us, and people can do monstrous things to you, and that's why I'm the way that I am. But Peter, Spider-Man, shows her, the same shit happened to me too.
Yeah.
You know, I've lost people.
It's not
People
an
treat me like
excuse.
crap.
It's not an
Exactly.
excuse
I've
to do
sacrificed
that.
so much.
Yeah.
But look at me. I'm still
Yeah.
out there trying to be
Better.
better.
Yeah.
And he is genuinely a good guy.
Yeah.
And they did such a beautiful job of emphasizing that. And for them to turn Peter from, you know, Iron Boy Jr., which people had complaints with, to becoming a mentor to Jean Grey
Yeah.
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 and
Yeah.
helping her in their mind together.
Yeah.
It's the sickest thing I could ever think of.
It is sick.
Like in concept,
It
like
is sick.
Jean and Peter, they're like some of my favorite Marvel characters ever.
Yeah.
So I would never write a story where it's like, oh, Jean Grey is an antagonist.
Yeah.
But I love
I
that they
wouldn't
did
either.
it because the
Yeah.
way they did it, the execution,
Am I telling you that?
Yeah, yeah.
outstanding.
Dude, it's
Outstanding.
funny because like we were talking about it and I was telling him literally the same thing. I was saying like, is this the direction I would have gone with? No,
No.
it's not.
No.
But like, does that mean it's bad because they didn't do what
Yeah.
me, Daniel, wanted
Yeah,
to do?
exactly.
Like, it's still good. I still had a good
Yeah.
time. It was still a blast. And again, now we have inhibitor callers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we have inhibitor call. Age of Apocalypse coming. You know what I mean?
It's
Genosha. Like,
really
there's so many
smart.
implications. Phoenix implicated.
Dude, well, that's what I'm
X-Men
saying.
starting implicated.
That's why I didn't have a problem with Jean being the antagonist,
No.
because it's not like it's the first time we've ever seen her
As an antagonist. Yeah,
not
yeah,
just
correct.
in comics, but in
1000%.
the films.
Yeah,
like
right,
we've
right,
seen,
right.
but
It
like
was-
worse versions of it.
Yeah.
as her being
and
a villain.
in the comics, she is the first student, right?
Yeah.
And so her driving off like that, like, where's she gonna go?
Yeah.
Hey, where's she gonna go, dude?
I know where she's gonna go.
Hey, where's she gonna go?
I know where she's
Yeah,
going.
when she was driving off, I was like, and they showed the forest going.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I don't need an aerial code to know where that is.
Yeah.
It was really smart of them to incorporate characters that specifically have reputations of being antagonists at times, like
Yeah,
the Hulk,
Yeah,
the Punisher,
yeah, right.
Jean Grey as well. You know,
all
having that. So, like, the only one that's like probably the closest to being a glorified cameo is Hulk. You know what I mean? Probably, but he still serves a purpose in the narrative.
It still-
in the
it
theme
worked,
of
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Like, and also, I ain't complaining if I'm getting the scene where the Punisher is
fighting the Hulk.
fighting the
Come
Hulk,
on now.
dude.
Punisher
you know?
was the best part
Yeah,
of the movie.
come on now. It was.
It
hands
kinda
down-
was
It
the
was
best
a
part of
Marvel
the movie.
Best part of the movie,
comic
dude. Yeah.
brought to life.
Yeah.
But also,
exactly.
Punisher and Hulk were kind of pushing Spider-Man to think, okay, do I suppress the monster or do I let it out?
Yeah.
You know, and with Hulk, he was even warning him too, like maybe the things that you want to suppress, they have to be expressed.
Yeah.
And Punisher, thinking that his life was a sentence. You think I want to live this way, kid? If my loved ones were alive, I wouldn't have a mask on or whatever. I wouldn't be playing dress up or whatever. and even in that,
You remind me too much of Red.
let me tell you
Let me
something,
tell you
webhead. But even that conversation, it's meaningful because it
Yeah.
teaches Spider-Man, you know what? You're right. MJ's alive. Ned's alive. It teaches me that, like, I don't have to do this alone, and I should keep those human connections because I'm going to lose myself behind the mask if I don't rekindle that relationship.
Well, that's what I really love about Peter's arc in this. Aside from him becoming kind of going from student to a mentorish role, of like the idea of like how do you approach Spider-Man after a decision like at the end of No Way Home, right? Where nobody knows who Peter Parker is, and he's taking on this responsibility as a burden, you know, which is torture for him. Clearly, like it's torture for him. And I love that this film isn't about them, like at least him and Mary Jane or MJ Zendaya. It's not about them getting back together. It's about like establishing a connection, reestablishing a connection. You know, it doesn't end with them like making out or whatever. You know, like oh we're back in love and everything. Like his actions in the previous all the films have devastating consequences still.
Yeah.
And this is ultimately about him making right with those consequences.
Well, accepting them because not really curing it, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because
he
not
can't.
like MJ. Yeah, you can't cure it, and I kind of like that because then you can kind of relate to him. You know, you don't like him dating Zendaya is not like really relatable. Him having all this like high tech stuff like iron suit is not really relatable, and they made him relatable. You know, and I think that him when they show that clip of that montage of him defeating all of the villains. That's why I'm saying it's not a direction I would have gone, but they made it work. And because I think not the metaphor, but the symbolism there was that he was so married to the job that he was defeating everyone. And so villains couldn't beat him. And Jean Grey was kind of like, okay, so then now fight your own mind.
Yeah,
so
literally.
it's like you don't have a formidable foe anymore.
You're facing burnout.
Now you're just facing like literally yourself, your own isolation, your own mind. Like, can you contain yourself?
So good.
You know, can you control? Yeah. So
in writing, they call that the self-conflict. That's what it is. So like that's what I was saying too. Like we don't have the traditional villain. It's really like Peter versus. It's Spider-Man versus Peter. Pretty much, you know, in his mind. And I like that he realized that he like made a mistake because he ultimately made the choice for MJ and Ned to take away their memories. He made that choice for them, but he realized it's a mistake. He takes accountability and he rekindles that relationship. And I even like at the ending that moment that he had with Ned and the handshake. It just, I don't know, it just taps into those.
Let's talk about the handshake.
It's just like, I don't know, it moved me. You know what I mean?
The whole movie.
Even end with him and MJ.
Yeah.
The whole movie has that very. A lot of this reminded me of the first Spider-Man film with Tobey. I mean, I don't think, like I told you guys at the theater, it's not a clone. They're not trying to do that. They're not trying to do Andrew Garfield or anything like that. But in terms of, in the first Spider-Man film with Tobey, it ends with him not getting everything he wants, right? Making sacrifices like that. And this, I love that this isn't, like he gets a new chance at those relationships, but he still doesn't get everything he wants.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it still does deal with sacrifices, but the consequences of sacrifice here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the inverse of that first Spider-Man movie, and even Spider-Man 2. Because in Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man decides Spider-Man no more. He loses his powers.
Yeah.
Right? He's losing his powers because he's Spider-Man. And this one, he
is getting too much power.
His DNA is altering because of his isolation and his trauma.
Yeah.
So it's the inverse of Spider-Man 2 in that way, which I found to be really cool. Like that's how you do it. Like if you don't clone it, then just flip it on its head and you get something that's just as engaging.
Well, to lean on to the point that you're bringing up of like how in the comics, just in comics in general, but especially in Spider-Man, you see a lot of other characters, right? Like the heroes from all over spill into Spider-Man because he's the guy.
That's why you feel like you're turning the page in this movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and
really
for so long we knew Spider-Man as a character that was so separate from that whole world because Sony owned the rights, Marvel and them weren't working together and everything. We had 2 renditions not dealing with the Avengers or Doctor Strange or anything like that. Maybe a reference here and there, but primarily like they are the heroes of their worlds and that's it, right? And we have a whole kind of generation that grew up with Spider-Man being a loner here. So I love that he is a loner here, but that world is still spilling into his world and kind of making it crazier. You know what I mean? Because I know the 3 of us at least. If we're any sort of indicator of the fan base, we've been wanting to see him fight the Hulk, the Punisher. I didn't even ask for Jean Grey or the X-Men, but I'll take it, you know, because it works here, dude. Like it works, I think, really well.
Her trying to get into his mind at first, and him being having so much durability, and just from his mental state to push her out.
From the Spidey sense.
Yeah, I thought that was
like that's how you build up the goat that he is. He's a goat, and that realization too when he first helps that woman out of the tank, and he notices that she mind transferred. And his initial reaction to like stop that guy because he knows what just happened, I was like, that's slick. That is so slick. Again, we probably wouldn't have gone in that direction, but I'm happy somebody did, and they did it well.
Yeah, because again, like we say, like we're always complaining that they just don't go for it. Like even in Fantastic Four, right, or any other movie, right? We see those characters, and they keep it to those characters, and it's like we know because we're comic fans, we know that they interact with everybody. That Fantastic Four interacts with, you know, I don't know, Silver Surfer.
The first cover of Amazing Spider-Man.
Right.
He's with the Fantastic Four.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like that for us, that's like normal, but movies always go safe and keep movies to those characters, and they never. And here they were just like, first off, it would be cool. You know, the comic fans would probably be okay with it. Yeah. But also, we don't really have a choice. Like, we have to introduce the mutants somewhere, and I think this was a really good way to kind of show. Why it has motivation. Now they don't have to explain to us in an X-Men movie why Jean is starting as Professor X's first student and now starts the X-Men with Cyclops, Kit Connor.
Yeah, dude, as of today.
Hey, yo.
Crazy. They're casting that shit. Dude, I saw the funniest meme. We'll get back to the Spider-Man, but I saw the funniest meme about, they showed a photo of Sadie Sink, and then they showed Hugh Jackman. It's like, they got to reboot ASAP. They got to reboot.
Sorry, Hugh.
Sorry, Indy Navarrete as Mystique.
Yeah, dude, please.
Wild.
I hope so.
Wild.
I hope so.
But yeah, they've already established that next, I think, Civil War type tension between the Avengers and the X-Men. You know, you had to establish Jean as potentially
I think the X-Men take that,
movie.
by the way. I think the X-Men probably take that.
But now we're going to have the citizens
and
of
it's set up.
The Marvel Universe muties.
No,
you're going to have that natural anger established from here.
Yeah, well, that distinction of like
Sentinels.
Dude, but like that distinction of like mutant versus like humans, but also like we have problems with the X-Men, but we don't have problems with the Avengers.
Yeah,
you know,
and
like
is Spider-Man going to be the mediator of that?
Exactly.
You know, because where is he going to fall? Is he going to be a mutate? Is he be a mutant? Is he going to be a friend of the X-Men or an ally to the Avengers?
That it's really smart to have so many elements of the wider MCU in this film. Reestablishing Spider-Man as the face of Marvel going forward, because for so long, like, and I love, you know, the Infinity Saga, right? Like, I love what they did, but it was Iron Man who was the face of Marvel at that point. You know what I mean? When I think all of us know naturally it is Spider-Man who should be at the center of this world. You know what I mean? So for them to set him up in this feels like a soft reboot in some ways. Yeah. Brand new day. You know what I mean? It's brand new day. You know, like they want you to think, okay, this is what Spider-Man is and probably should have been. Yeah. This is the Spider-Man movie I've been waiting for Tom Holland.
Yeah, I did
since the beginning.
I did think that they left some things on the table. You know, like again, like some of the interactions with some of the other villains would have been nice. That would have been cool. Just again, and I'm not even asking for much. Just like 10 seconds with each one, 15 seconds, you know, with each one would have been cool. Still do the covers, but like lean into like a fight or something. I don't know, something, right?
And I think it's mainly Scorpion. We want it because we've been waiting on that for so long.
Instead of Jean as Scorpion. Scorpion got short end of that stick for sure.
And that actor is great, dude.
He's a really good actor. But now, since they established Tom to be the Spider-Man we all know and love, even the haters that doubted him, now that he's Spider-Man, things are going to get really interesting when they do bring in like a Mr. Negative or the other rogues. If we do get another Goblin, let's get crazy. Carnage Goblin.
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin. I think I want.
It's going to be crazy.
Hobgoblin.
But Spider-Man was the perfect character to do this rebirth, soft reboot, because it's universal what he feels. Lonely. We all feel lonely at some point. We all lose somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah. But no matter how you feel, how alone you are, how injured you are, every day is a brand new day. So you can start new, baby.
So he did. So he did this. So this is the thing, right? It's like he did the Superman thing way better, right? In Superman, he literally turns to the camera and starts saying like, I mess up, and I mess up sometimes.
Bro, you're just hating. You didn't get a monologue like that in Poncho.
Spider-Man basically did the same thing without like turning
saying
to the
it
camera
directly
and being like, "Hey, listen, guys, I'm nice."
Well, we're about to debate now, but like it's appropriate for Superman to do that.
Oh yeah,
you know what
course,
I mean? For Spider-Man,
of course. Yeah, no, why did I bring that up?
Bro, I saw you at the theater during that monologue, and you're like,
I'm gonna show up for Superman every time. No, I'm gonna show up for Superman every single time.
Well, Angel and I were talking earlier. This film does a lot of what I think Superman did last year.
Oh,
so
yeah.
where it's just it's everybody's kind of on the same page with it. I think you know there obviously you get people. And it's just an enjoyable film.
I had a blast,
you know?
and that's what I'm saying. Even though there was like again, I feel like there was money left on the table, like the Man Spider. I could have seen a little bit of that, right? I could have seen.
I would have liked to seen Scorpion more. Yeah, for sure.
Scorpion more.
They
maybe.
could have done Man Spider in like a nightmare sequence. That
Yeah,
would've
you
been
know,
cool.
even that,
sick,
right?
yeah.
Even that, you know. But
Daredevil?
something. Daredevil was missing. That was missing.
That was,
I mean, I get
like,
it. He's in you know prison, but like oh shoot, I'm like spoiling everything.
Well, I mean, we're in spoilers.
Yeah.
But I mean, Spidey was in a prison also. I would have imagined I thought they were gonna do something there. You know, you had the hand. You know, they had a Fisk reference in the film, so they do reference Born Again. You know what I mean? So that was a little disappointing.
Everything, dude. They referenced the Insomnia. The fighting was Insomnia game.
Yeah.
It literally felt like the game.
Yeah.
Like it felt like we were
in the game,
on a mission in the game.
Yeah.
The aesthetic of it,
and then they
the
would
ways
cut
they
to
were
like
moving.
comic book.
Yeah.
And then they would cut to Insomniac scene, and then they would cut
Then
to
there
like,
was a little Toby,
there
Andrew
was
over
Toby stuff.
here.
Yeah, there was
you know?
Andrew stuff.
There was some Spider-Verse in there also, you know,
Dude,
just in terms of the way he's moving. Like there's a scene where he jumps, and it's like Spider-Verse, the way he's swinging and shit. You know what I mean? I loved it.
And the suit itself, if you notice, he had the little spider. You know, it was like a mix of them because now from No Way Home, he had the big spider on the back like Andrew Garfield's, but then he had like the elevated webs like Toby's.
Like Toby,
So it's like he kind of mixed, and he's like, oh shoot.
And a very distinct detail about Tom's suit this time was
cloth.
There were some shots. Yeah, it's cloth, but there were some shots where you could see
his eyes.
Tom's eyes.
Oh, that was sick.
That was brilliant.
So sick.
I've seen it 3 times. And I was looking for those scenes specifically, and it's in there a lot more than I remembered.
Yeah.
And it just makes him more tangible and human. Yeah. And I love that about Tom's portrayal, especially with that detail of the eyes.
Yeah.
So important. You could see his soul through the mask. That moment with him and Hulk where he's like, "It's Peter, I'm your friend." Like those hit a lot because of the emotionality you can see from under the mask, which maybe we didn't get all the time from Toby's or Andrew's. A lot of them was, you know, from the voice acting or from the body language, but with this, you could really see Tom's eyes.
And it makes him feel like that, especially in that first scene when he jumps off the railing and they show, you know, the mask from the inside. It makes you really feel his isolation, right?
Yeah.
Like you really feel alone, like he's alone in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he does save everybody. And
the mask is suffocating.
The
so man.
Yeah, let's go. That was crazy.
It's those little details that you could tell from these filmmakers that like they really came from a place of like, let's humanize the story as much as we can while also keeping all the MCU madness.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was smart to, and I like the previous films with Tom Holland. I'm rewatching a lot of the Marvel stuff right now, and made sure to watch every Spider-Man thing before this, and I really like what John Watts did with the character. You know what I mean? Like they feel very. I don't mean to say this as like an insult or whatever, but like they feel very kiddie. Especially compared to this, because they're about a kid, you know, they're very adolescent and everything in terms of like the humor, even like the filmmaking and everything. And then you start dipping into more maturity in No Way Home, you know what I mean? Where it feels a lot more like classic Spider-Man.
Yes.
And, you know, I think a lot of the fan base didn't, it's not that they didn't get it, they probably just didn't like that. You know, I think a lot of us want it to be from the get-go. But this is that film that they've been working towards since Civil War. Yeah. Really.
I think the problem is that it is a comic book movie, and like people just forget like it's a comic book movie. So then I think we did get, like you said, it kind of started in the No Way Home, like, hey, we're gonna make him a little bit more, we're gonna, you know, kill Aunt May and you know, all that stuff, and we're gonna kind of like go back to more classic Spider-Man. But people just see it's a multiverse and 3 Spider-Men, and so then it's too fantastical for them. So then they miss that. They miss those, like, because they're already out of the movie. They're like, nah, this is too, for us, it's comic books. That's cool for us. Like, we're, you know, I'm chilling. I'm cool with that. And I like the progression here with Spider-Man. You even see the progression with, like, Punisher. I know, like, people complain that he was, you know, a little bit more for kids in this movie. But it makes sense if you watch the Punisher one-shot, because in the Punisher one-shot, although I wasn't Punisher's my favorite character, but I didn't really like the one shot too much. But But one thing that they do establish is that he realizes that there's more than just killing to kill. He now is killing because he wants to like help people.
Yeah.
So he kind of like at the end of that he like realizes like, wait, I kind of want to be a superhero. Like, you know what I mean?
Or more for the people,
more
like
for
a
the
servant,
people. Yeah,
right?
more servant
like
than just
more of what a cop
than just
is supposed to
angry
be.
and killing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna kill,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna be more of a superhero. You know what I mean? And he gets
Yeah.
that. So then that's why Brand New Day wasn't as jarring for me when
Yeah, no,
I see
it's not-
Punisher. I didn't.
Even
it
if
wasn't too jarring.
dude,
for me.
even if you watched it from, let's say,
Netflix
or Born Again, probably more recently, you know,
Yeah.
it's not. I don't think it's jarring at all, dude, because like he's not dealing with Daredevil here. Like
Daredevil's a jerk, huh?
Daredevil's such a Catholic
jerk,
bitch, bro.
Such a jerk. Like,
But like with Punisher's personality here, they don't sacrifice his identity for the sake of like a PG-13 rating here.
he still
like,
shoots to kill.
He still shoots to kill. He was gonna kill a kid
Yeah.
in the climax of this film,
which is a nod to the first comic book cover. You know what I mean? Shoots Spider-Man.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say which is based.
Yeah, based. Yeah, no.
But like he's very much himself in context of the greater story of the Punisher. That's probably the darkest thing he's done to this point. Like trying to shoot a kid. You know, I don't think he's ever done anything like that really. Like he's taken out like thugs and like cartel members, government agency people.
Which again lends to his point,
Yeah.
which is like that whole like how do we deal with mutants this powerful? You know what I mean? And that are emotional. I think that's going to be the difference between the Avengers and like the mutants, where the mutants are like a lot of them are humans going through puberty and like kind of going through mental issues, and they have these powers that might be out of control if they get angry or whatever. Or we don't know, you know, maybe not. But now you have that dilemma where it's like, you know, it puts you in the Punisher spot, right? Like, well, what would you do? All of New York could die, literally, if she just she could just kill them.
And it's widening.
And it's
like,
widening, literally. So it's like, what do
everything,
your moment's closing. Like, what do you do? You know. And so, what would you do with the mutant this powerful if you had to coexist with this? It's really cool.
Isn't that the crazy thing? Like, if this were a Punisher movie, let's say, he would have taken the shot.
Oh, he would have.
He would have killed her.
He wouldn't have hesitated.
And he probably would have been redeemed for doing that
But
if she were more villainous, right?
But
because of the culture of the mutant hate culture.
No,
and
but I
everything.
think people are looking at it all wrong. I think they're looking at that like, oh, Punisher's too kiddie because it's not the Punisher or whatever, and we agree that it still is, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the critique is he's not, but I think that they're still viewing it incorrectly. And I think what it says more about Spider-Man, that Punisher is like this, and he's more about the banter, and he's having a good time, versus than what we see in Born Again or Netflix. And the reason I say that is because most of the time that we see Punisher interact with another hero, it's Daredevil. And what is Daredevil always doing? He's always judging him. Like, he's always like, dude, like, why you do this? Boo-hoo, you killed a criminal. Like, you know what I mean? And Spider-Man clearly disagrees with him, but he's not he's still like, hey, you know, like, we're gonna do what we're gonna do. He saved him. He saved him. Even though he knows Punisher's a killer, he's not trying to impose like, hey, I do it where I don't kill people. So like, if we're gonna work together, then this is how it is. If not, you can do your own thing. And then he's not, I think that's why he treats him more like big brother mentor thing, rather than like hall monitor Daredevil over here.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
the thing about Daredevil is that he does want to kill.
Yeah, he does.
He just doesn't let himself do it. Peter doesn't, and I think Frank sees that.
Right.
Frank
that's
probably thinks of his kids while he deals with Spider-Man. You know what I mean? That's why he can be a little bit more.
But that's
fun
why it makes
and,
more sense.
Yeah,
not because Punisher is more kiddish, but because Spider-Man to him is a kid.
Exactly,
and so then that's how he interacts with him, because he's more friendlier with him. He's not really friends with Daredevil, you know what I mean? Like, he's friends with Peter, or he becomes friends with him. And also, again, like, they kind of like just acknowledge each other, but they're not like forcing each other to be like, hey, you should kill. You know, and you shouldn't kill, which is kind of like Daredevil and Punisher's interactions, where it's like, you should kill. Well, you shouldn't kill. And then you know, like, think about it, right? Spider-Man goes to his lair and he's like, hey man, like, I have nowhere else to go. He goes to him in that context, right? What do we see when Matt Murdock goes to his lair, when he goes to that locker room place? What does he do? First thing is like, hey, hey, I was just wondering, do you want to feel guilty right now? You know what I mean? Like, I can make you feel guilty really quick. And it's like, dude, of course he slams him into the locker. Like, let me tell you something. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, of course.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah. No, for me, they established the relationship between Punisher and Spider-Man very well in this movie.
Right.
You know, for me, it's not about how graphic Punisher can be. It's about his mindset. And when we got that scene where he's talking about, like, this is a life sentence for me, and also, like, you do your thing, I'm going to do my own thing, you know, already assuming that he's going to take out Jean Grey, that is enough for me. Already.
And shooting the Hulk.
Like
Dude, that was
Dude,
nasty.
exactly. And he's like, and I was talking
my
to my buddy Andrew about that scene specifically. One of my favorite parts of it is that, like, and you know, in like a lot of like animated stuff for superheroes, right? They can't show like an M16 or whatever, so they'll have like the Punisher use a fucking like laser gun or something.
Yeah, or
they
like a pop smoke. Or
yeah,
something,
literally.
You know what I mean?
With it, Punisher's there to kill. You know what I mean? But if he can like take down the Hulk for real, like he's gonna do it. You know what I mean? So he's using like military grade weapons and they don't
lethal force.
Exactly. It's not. They're not sacrificing the character for the sake of the audience or whatever. But they're just limiting what the character can do because of the context of the film. Like, I love that this character did the crazy shit that he did in jail in Netflix, and can also like fight the Hulk.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is completely unrelated, but this is why they should merge the Batman with Superman, bro. Literally, because we saw Daniel, you'd be the first person in line.
I would be, and I'd be wearing my Travis Scott Batman suit.
And I'll wear my corn sweatsuit. And we'll debate.
We'll debate.
Exactly.
No, I
This
don't
is something
know.
you said though after the movie, and they handled it really well. Punisher's first interaction with Spider-Man in this movie, he literally shoots him.
Yeah, he shoots at him.
Like point
he
blank,
literally-
no questions asked, get off my van,
Yeah.
I'm shooting you. And he
Yeah.
shot him.
He shot him. Yeah, literally.
Probably
just
not even
shoots him.
knowing if Spider-Man could
would
take
live. Yeah.
a shotgun to the chest.
Yeah.
But he
But
did.
also get off my car.
Yeah.
Get off my car.
So that already, I was like, okay, I know.
It's a property issue, right?
Punisher we're
True
getting.
libertarianism in the form of the Punisher and Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, it was cool. And Spider-Man messes him up. Like,
Yeah.
he goes through
Yeah.
his whole car.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Dude,
dang,
the
like,
amount of
they're
times
going at it.
Daredevil's tried to fuck, like, and the
Yeah.
times Punisher's had to whoop that ass, like
Right,
Spider-Man
right.
just comes in and like,
Yeah.
dude, you're not getting past me here,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So sick.
Yeah,
See,
their banter
yeah.
was great, and
It
them
was great.
earning
It was
respect for
fantastic.
each other was very satisfying.
Yeah.
As a Marvel fan.
And they're homies in real life, so I think that chemistry is
Oh, yes.
like it's crazy. You even see it on the like they did the Hot Ones recently.
Yeah.
And it was so good. Like the way they're like their chemistry is just it's fantastic. And
Yeah.
it transfers everywhere, you know what I mean?
This has been
So-
a long time coming. I mean, these
For sure.
characters in many ways belong with each other. I mean, Punisher was introduced in a Spider-Man comic, you
We're
know?
all across the MCU. That's the thing. It's like not we can't just be doing this. We should have been doing this in the Marvels. We should have
Yeah.
been doing this in the Eternals. And I'm not saying, dump in like Brand New Day, but I think Brand New Day was backed into a corner. And so then they did it, and they did it well. But what I'm saying is they had to put Jean Grey, Hulk, Punisher. They had to do that because we haven't done it in Marvels. We haven't done it in Eternals. We haven't seen Shang-Chi in 5 years. You know what I mean? Like we haven't done that. So then like if we would be kind of dispersing these characters into each other's movies, like leaking them, then we wouldn't need, like maybe we could have gone with the Jackal and the Prowler this movie. You know what I mean? Or something like that. We wouldn't have had to jam the mutants and not that I didn't like that. I'm just saying I think they were kind of like, we're stuck here. We have to do this. How are we gonna do this well? Because this is what sure, I want to have a Sinister Six. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But like, where are the mutants gonna come? Like, we need inhibitors. We need to imply Age of Apocalypse. We need to imply that the Hell's Kitchen universe exists here. We need to imply that the Hulk exists and the Avengers and the new Avengers. We need to imply all of this stuff. And you're small potatoes, Thunderbolt.
Oh yeah, can we talk about that real quick?
Like
that scene, I love
Dude.
I love that
Dude.
I love that interaction.
The disrespect,
but that was ridiculous. Dude,
that was insane,
for
dude.
Yelena, but fucking whatever.
They had trouble holding up a slab
the
in the
second
movie,
Black
remember?
Widow.
They're all like,
The second Black Widow is talking to Spider-Man
The
like
second Black Widow.
Angel, who's on your shirt right now? Is that Black Widow or is that
The
Spider-Man?
Go, bro. The
Spider-Man,
Go.
baby.
Spider-Man, dude.
And the other thing too, it's not even like the disrespect. Like, wait, what are you saying? Like, it's literally like we were sitting there, and I could feel the seething between us. Like when she was talking there, and I was like, what the, like, are you serious? I thought it was a joke. I thought he was gonna like web her mouth or something, like do something where it's like, you don't talk to me like that. You know what I mean? Cause dude, he solos the Thunderbolt. I mean, without the Sentry, he solos the Thunder. He solos
even Sentry, he'd give a run for his money.
Yeah, it'd be an issue. But what I'm saying is he solos them for sure. And she's small
100%.
potatoes, big potatoes. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I was like, dude, you gotta watch your tone here.
Yeah.
You know?
But I do like that they used her character, especially because Thunderbolts and Spider-Man Brand New Day share a huge theme about loneliness.
And mental health
Yeah,
and
mental
all that.
health.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
for
know,
the
sure.
dark
she,
side
I
of
think
them.
was a really smart
Made
character
sense.
choice to be in there. But yeah, no.
And
Spider-Man is definitely big potato.
And that line
If
was
you
good.
fight Thanos,
Yeah.
you big.
But most like what you're saying, that line, it's funny that you say that, because in that line that she was saying how, remember she was explaining the mind control, and she was saying, no, it's not like this mind control. It's not like the Red Room mind control. This is something different. And so I think, again, it's like kind of like telling the audience, like, this is about mental health.
Right.
Without
It's like
telling
you
them it's
fighting your
about
own
mental health.
mind,
Yeah, you got
and you have to overcome it kind of yourself.
Yeah.
But also you can reach out to others.
Because that's all what Thunderbolts was.
Right.
Like the
Yeah.
entire third act was literally like all
I'm
of that.
alone, Bob feeling
Yeah.
alone. The disassociation of how Sentry was portrayed as that.
Right.
It was a great depiction of mental health and depression and loneliness. So to bring her into this story, and even her telling him, I'm glad the sad man found some friends. You know? Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Yeah.
Dude, they're really good compliments to each
Bring in Iceman. Bring in Iceman. Bring in Iceman.
And Firestar.
And then, bring in Firestar.
Let's go, dude.
Human Torch and Iceman.
I'm down. I'm down.
That's all I
dude.
want.
I'm down.
You know?
Johnny!
Well, I do definitely want more of like, I don't know what traditional really means in terms of the MCU Spider-Man, but like, I think a lot of us have an idea of what the optimal Spider-Man film would be, right? Like, you know, I think those games are really the closest thing to what a modern Spider-Man should be, because, you know, you're not going to get him working at the Daily Bugle, you know, like newspapers aren't really a thing.
Feast.
Yeah, Feast would be great, but characters that are more Spider-Man centric from here on, I think would be better than like, because we were joking after the film, like, all right, so what Marvel hero is going to be the next big bad for Spider-Man, or what Marvel villain that's not Spider-Man related is going to be the big bad of it? Yeah. So I would like, you know, if they reintroduce Kraven, you know, give me Kraven, give me the Jackal, you know what I mean? Do the Clone Saga, end with the Sinister Six.
Jackal, that's what I'm saying. Jackal, Ben Riley.
Exactly, dude.
Oh, man,
that's
they
crazy.
Do Ben Riley, I'm
Yeah.
Yelling in that.
Dude, they could even go, with the black suit, especially if he gets it after Secret Wars, right?
Yeah.
And then they make a Spider-Man movie. It would make sense that maybe he has it, eventually rejects it.
Yeah.
But maybe in that movie,
Black
right?
Cat.
Yeah, you could have Black Cat. You could have, because it's the black suit, maybe he's more powerful. So he has friends at that point, and since they know that he interacted with Jean Grey and is like a mutant friend, maybe Firestar and Iceman does work. And they're homies, and then they have to fight the Venom Spider-Man, and then he realizes, no, whatever, I have to be a hero. Then that's when Eddie Brock gets it. And Eddie Brock is actually kind of implied in Brand New Day, because the detective is the one that gets murdered.
Oh, Jean DeWolf. Yeah.
And Eddie Brock is the one that does the story on her, thinking that he caught the killer. Oh. Peter Parker actually finds the real killer and kind of destroys Eddie Brock's career. And that's where he has his hatred for Peter Parker.
So
and
you
Spider-Man
would want a new Eddie Brock.
So, no, I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, that's a route they can go.
Right.
But yeah, I just think that there's so many possibilities now at this point that we established. Hey, we can have all these characters. We can still have classic Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think it's good. That's why I know they said that Tom Holland's kind of on his run, like he's only gonna do like 1 or 2 more movies. Mm-hmm. I'm sad about that, because I'm like, dang, you finally you've arrived, dude.
You've arrived as the face of the MCU.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah. That's the thing. They just have to find a way to balance it well again, like they did in this movie. Like if they do just decide to keep making untraditional Spider-Man movies, as long as the execution is as good as this one, I'll be fine. But again, there's always going to be complaints from fans. There's going to be fans that go like, no, I just want it to be grounded in just Spider-Man and just Spider-Man-centric. I don't care about the MCU. But then you have fans as well that are like, I've been waiting for Spider-Man to interact with all of these characters and heroes and stuff like that. That's what makes it a Marvel universe. So it's like, I feel like fans are never going to be happy. But I think this is a rarity where it's like, this appeals to all fans that wanted the grounded, that wanted the fantastical, that wanted the internal conflict of Spider-Man. This had it all, to be honest. So if they can do this again, but with like a Mr. Negative or like a main Spider-Man villain, ooh.
I'd love Mr. Negative. I want the last fucking, depending on how Born Again goes, but I want his final villain to be Kingpin. Like, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, I want Kingpin to be the big bad for Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
I would like it to be the big bad if he's the mastermind behind something like the Sinister Six.
The Sinister Six.
That would be... I mean...
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just
Daredevil can naturally fit in that story.
Absolutely.
Too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And then, it makes more sense. Punisher, Daredevil, Spider-Man versus the Sinister Six.
That just depends if they kill him or not. I hope they don't kill him in Born Again. You know what I mean? Because in the new season of Born Again.
Oh, yeah. No.
I'm just hoping that's not like his last outing as Kingpin.
As Kingpin. Oh,
because I would want him
to... No, they got to get him in a movie.
Yeah, I would want him to be in a Spider-Man film. You know what I mean? I want to see Daredevil and Spider-Man team up.
I'm still hoping like we get that scene of them in the alley or like through the buildings and the billy clubs and he's swinging.
Dude.
That has to happen sometime.
Yeah. And I was actually expecting one day for them to do the identity switch with the costumes, like Matt Murdock putting on the Spider-Man costume so people wouldn't assume that it's Peter Parker. But they kind of did that with Punisher at the end of this.
Yeah.
The Punisher put on the mask in the hospital. Dude. That was so funny.
And so, like there's the plot hole of like Punisher is obviously wanted by the police force, right?
Yeah.
And like, how is he able to just sit there in a hospital, like, and protect his identity? You know what I mean? Like,
they definitely made this for fans that maybe have not been caught up on everything. That's
but not even. I think it makes sense if you add Rosario Dawson's character.
Yeah, they should have done that.
And apparently they did film that scene. So they filmed the scene where she was in it.
They should have kept that.
They 100% should have.
They should have kept that because it explained. She's like, no, I got it, and you can stay in there with him, and like it's gonna be like they know I'm dealing with it.
I want a director's cut.
It would have made sense.
You could have had another moment too, like in Spider-Man 2 in the train scene where they all see Peter Parker's face, and they're like, we won't tell nobody. You could have had that with Rosario's character. It would have been a nice nod to Spider-Man 2, which there was a lot of nice nods, not just thematically but visually too. Like that shot with the inhibitor as him and Hulk were out of the building. It was just like that Spider-Man 3 shot with the ring, and the Goblin Harry was fighting Peter. That's how you know this movie was made with love and care, bro. And Sam Raimi as the blueprint, which is so smart. I mean, how do you not work off of that greatness? And incorporate it here.
Because in that way of like recreating comic covers or panels or whatever, like all these films do that to a certain extent, especially the Spider-Man ones, because there are just so many pieces of iconography, in terms of this character. But when we see like the first one they do, which is of Amazing Fantasy, it took me right back to when they did Spider-Man No More and Spider-Man 2. You know what I mean? Like those moments, in Homecoming when he lifts the rubble and everything. And then it's just a montage of hey, we're gonna. And a lot of that is just practical. Like a lot, like that Scorpion one. They shot in camera. It's very little in terms of
frame rate they shot, but they shot.
It was a crazy amount.
It was practical. So it looks CG, but I think they shot it at some frame rate to catch that kind of imagery. You know what I mean?
Brand New Day also operates as like a full circle journey for Tom Holland's Spider-Man too, because in Homecoming when he has that moment of "Come on, Spider-Man, come on," Here in this journey, we're rooting for Peter Parker, and that's what I love too. At the end of the day, we're rooting for Peter Parker. They made Peter Parker just as special as Spider-Man because we were able to see ourselves in him. And when he celebrated at the end with that crowd and he has that moment with the kid.
Oh yeah, that took me back to Raimi.
I'm looking at Peter Parker.
What if that kid was, because I was thinking about it, it's like, what if that kid was Jean Grey still? And her way of saying like, hey.
Oh wow, that's really interesting. Yeah.
Because why did he look over at him? You know what I mean? So I was like thinking like, because she's still on the bus like smiling to herself when they're kind of cross-referencing those scenes with
Yeah.
each other. You know
Wow,
what
I
I
didn't
mean?
even think about that.
So
it.
yeah, you know.
But that moment also works too because we see ourselves in that kid. You know, somebody that we've all grown up loving Spider-Man, and he's always had that impact on us, and he's going to continue having that impact on generations. That little moment right there, I mean, yeah, it's right back to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3, but also in real life, that's how we feel towards Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He brings people together. He brought the energy in that theater.
Yeah.
We don't get it that often,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But it's only a character like Spider-Man that makes that happen.
Yeah.
And look, we got Green Goblin out here.
Yeah.
We need Spider-Man now.
I'm gonna edit in the.
Yeah, we need.
Can the Spider-Man come out to play?
It just go finish it. All right. Well, we're gonna finish up this podcast. Are there any last things you guys want to say about this film?
I enjoyed it. I just think, you know, I had, you know, like I said, there was stuff left on the table. I would have gone a different direction.
Would have
but-
added an immigrant superhero.
Yeah, right.
With the
Named
brown
poncho.
poncho.
Yeah,
Poncho in there.
yeah, crossover. Let's go. No, but you know, there were some issues I had with it, but again, like I think they were backed into a corner, and I think what they had to do, they did it, and they did it well. And essentially, like, I'm not going to look for a movie like if I can teach a movie because it's so technically well made, like in terms of plot points and all this, and I can teach it to a class, that's awesome. But like that's not how I judge if movies are good or not. If like they are technically correct, I just judge them off like if I sat down, I put the strap onto the roller coaster, and in these like hour and a half to 2 hours or whatever, or 4 hours, 5 hours if it's the Odyssey, you know, if I strap on, did I have a good time in the roller coaster? And in the brand new day Spider-Man roller coaster that I strapped myself into, I had a good time. I had a fun time, and I just hope they like don't let that go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I
just
hope
keep
so.
keep
Yeah.
having a good time, because I didn't know I wanted this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's what I'm saying. So
It took, you know, plenty of Madam Webs and Venoms and
Yeah.
Cravens.
Yeah.
It was all worth it in the end.
For sure, for sure.
What about you, Angel?
For me, I would say this is Tom Holland's best performance of his
hands down.
career.
Hands
There's
down.
so many moments where, again, like I said, you could see yourself in this movie. The moments that he handled so well, like that scene with MJ where he's like,
Oh,
"You
man.
mean everything. You mean
yeah.
everything to me. I love you." And for her to say, "I don't love you."
Yeah.
That lack of
Been there.
reciprocity is something we've all felt before.
Yeah.
Literally, like 90% of us have felt that before.
Yeah.
So for them to make that moment real, beyond impressive. Also, that moment I want to highlight with him and that guy that was first mind controlled by Jean Grey, and he's put in the ambulance, and he's like, "I would never do anything to hurt you. I love you, Spider-Man."
I didn't know you were in the film,
That's
dude.
literally me. That's how I feel about this movie. I love you, Spider-Man. Despite the problems, despite the minor flaws that I have, this is a great movie.
Yeah.
And I think with also the way that Spider-Man handled that situation with MJ and her being mind controlled and him telling her, I'm sorry that I kissed you. I didn't know it was you. I think that was a really important moment too, despite it being small. He's a great role model for people. That's Spider-Man, baby.
It was not small, dude. During that scene, I was I mean,
Daniel
I was
was
sitting
mad.
next to Julius. I was mad. I was like, because Jean Grey, like, I mean, we talk about, you were saying earlier, like how
Jean
she's
Grey
redeemed.
doing that
Dude,
was-
is diabolical, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
like
I mean,
some,
that was
like,
that
that's
wasn't her. That was the Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, right,
Who was
right,
doing
right,
that,
right.
you know?
she's young. She's troubled.
Yeah.
You know, we've all made mistakes in our youth. This is the Jean before Professor X. So I think that's the only way it's
Redeemable,
excusable.
even though the
Excusable.
tank was like dumping fire all over.
Yeah,
Like,
Well, you know, I
the,
mean, who-
the cars crashed.
It's a hard argument. It's going to be a good argument for like their Civil War too.
Hey,
which
yeah.
is the Avengers.
she's gonna
Because
have
the car
Bro,
crashes.
she's
even
gonna
itself.
have a hell of a redemption arc.
Yeah.
You know,
it
I mean,
it
like
has to be.
if we can like give Loki a pass,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
Loki's
Or
kind
Iron Man.
or Iron Man.
You know, Iron Man was
Man's
a
a
war
war
profiteer.
profiteer.
Ultron, dude.
Ultron.
Yeah,
Iron
dude.
Man's a capitalist.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he's the ultimate.
I think
you know?
it makes for a good argument between Avengers versus X-Men. That's I think the only reason I would accept it. But I mean, you had those moments where Spider-Man's like, "What you're doing is unforgivable."
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
tough, raw.
Yeah,
I love
that
it.
is-
The
Spider-Man
tension
was
is amazing.
Unforgivable, dude.
This is
Unforgivable.
without a doubt.
Go ahead, Peter. Touch it.
Yeah.
This is
Diabolical.
Whoa. Whoa.
Blue
Hey,
Angel
that
said
was Jean
what?
Grey.
What
was Jean Grey.
did he say?
This
Clip
is-
this.
Yeah, clip this shit.
Clip.
This is without a
was
doubt
Jean Grey.
the best Tom Holland Spider-Man film, in my opinion. This is the best one. This is my favorite, and I I loved it, man.
Yeah, billions of dollars of setting records.
Crazy, bro. So there's something about Spider-Man, dude.
Yeah.
It's always Spider-Man.
Those needle drops too.
Oh.
Tame Impala, stop playing around.
let's
Arguably
go.
the best needle
Let's
drop
go.
dance.
That was
Before we
sick.
wrap it up, I
Yeah.
just love that there's now kind of like a new wave of videography happening online where people are recreating the credits for this film in their own cities to that song and everything.
I love it.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
That's cool.
Beautiful. Bear vibes.
Yeah.
The Bear. Everybody's got to watch The Bear.
Oh yeah, you were on and on about the bear.
Well,
in this
last
movie.
time I recommended a show to you that you loved. It was called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, that's
So,
right.
you
And
know,
that was, yeah, that was,
I still gotta get on that.
Oh, dude.
Damn, bro.
Get out of here.
I still gotta get on that.
Dude, it's so good, man. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is sick, man. And
Coulson.
especially now that you know everything that you know now. I didn't believe him for a long time. I was like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It looks like an ABC show. And it does. Even when you're watching it, you're like, oh, this is like old ABC show. But I'm telling you, when I started watching it, I gave it a chance. I was like, man, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is my favorite. Like the arcs that each character goes through, they're so insane. They're insanely good.
It's better than
It's
a lot of
underrated.
the shows they've been making
gotta watch
recently.
It's better
and
than
they
a
did
lot of
Ghost
the
Rider.
shows
It's
that
the
they're
best
doing
Ghost
now.
Rider to date.
It is the best
best
Ghost
one.
Rider. Yeah.
All right, we're about to
Let's go.
we're about to die right now. All right,
Yeah,
guys,
seriously.
thank you so much. That's Blu-ray Angel.
Let's go.
That's Daniel Rumbles. I'm Bumbling Cinema. With great power comes great responsibility. Peace.
Let's go.
I'm Spider-Man.
Let's go.
I'm both, homie.
Yeah.